Hello traders, how you guys doing today? My name is Fidel. For the ones that don't know me, I'm a momentum trader to be exact, and today I'm going to talk about how to use a stop loss and what does a stop loss do and where to exactly put a stop loss at. Alright you guys, basically today we're just going to talk about the stop loss. Alright you guys, me personally you guys, when I came to discover the stop loss, I learned how to use it for my leverage, for my advantage, to do my best to always lock in profit, and for the times that I don't lock in some profit, to at least cut my losses 2, 3, 5% tops. Okay you guys, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Alright, so look you guys, when it comes to a stop loss, you guys always try to set it below a price that you're comfortable with. So let's say you purchased it, a stock, every share for $2.50. How much are you willing to lose from every single share? You know, 1 penny, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 cents. You see what I'm saying? Wherever you're comfortable with. Me, majority, I like to set it maybe 3, 4, 5 tops, maybe 10 tops. It depends what stock we're looking at and how much it has been trending, percentage gain. But like I say you guys, I always try to use it for my advantage. So what I do, I basically try to set it, let's say 3%, 4%, 5% tops below the price that I bought it at. So if something does go wrong, I get in the wrong time or etc., it basically, when it hits that price that I'm comfortable with losing, it triggers to sell all my shares or a portion of shares that I want to sell. But basically it sells it for you automatically, and that's a good advantage because me myself personally, I'm a part-time day trader, so I do have a job, and I gotta go deal with clients, you know, almost every single day. And when I'm with these clients, I can't be checking on my phone, checking my stock or the trade or the position I'm involved with. So I always try to set a stop loss before I get into the client's house. So if I'm comfortable where is it at, if something happens, right, I put in that price that I'm comfortable with, and I'll be able to cut my losses. Okay, another thing that I use with my stop loss too, you guys, as the price goes up, I raise my stop loss. So for instance, I bought a stock, a ticker for $2.50, then it goes up, and as it goes up, let's say now it's at $2.70. So it went up 20 cents per share. So then I move my stop loss, let's say for example 10 cents. So now my stop loss is set at $2.60. And the reason why, because for instance, if I'm busy doing something, it doesn't have my uninvited attention, if it drops below that price or it hits that price, it triggers to sell the shares that I want to sell, all of them or wherever you want to sell, automatically. You see what I'm saying? Without you being involved, without having your attention. You see? But as it goes up, you guys, I raise my stop loss. Okay, you guys? So basically, when it comes time to set a stop loss, wherever you're comfortable with, 2, 3, 5% below, that's what I recommend. Tops. Okay? Alright you guys, let's move on to the next one about moving your stop loss up when it's trending up. Like I said, as it goes up, move your stop loss up, because you know things move up so fast or move down so fast that sometimes people say, you know, well, I have a mental stop loss, you know, where I'm comfortable with, I sell it. But you know, sometimes people get emotional. They see that it hit that mental stop loss and you yourself are emotional with the stock, that you decide not to sell it yet, then it keeps dropping and it keeps dropping, and now you're negative $300, $200, and you're thinking that it's going to go back up, and it doesn't. You see that? Because your emotions are involved. But if you have that stop loss and you always discipline about your stop loss, whenever it gets close to it, let it do its work. But that's the decision that you made at first, so stick with it. Okay? So if it's going to hit it, let it hit it. And if it goes up, raise it up. So make sure it locks that profit in if it ever does drop. Alright, you guys? Alright, you guys. Let's move on to the next one, you guys. When it comes to supernovas, you guys. When it comes to supernovas, I always like to give it a cushion. It depends how it's moving, how fast it's moving. If it's moving, for example, every candle by 5, 3, 10 cents, for instance, right? I try to give it a cushion, all right, so it could bounce up and down a little bit. Because as it bounces up and down, you guys, it keeps bouncing higher and higher and higher as it bounces up and down. You see what I'm saying? Or as it bounces up and down, it's going to start bouncing up and down, lower and lower and lower. Okay, you guys, breaks the B-web and it keeps trending down. But anyways, as it bounces up and down, you guys, as it goes up, I try to give it that cushion so it could bounce up and down, up and down, up and down. And usually the cushion I give it to is according to the momentum of the candles. You see what I'm saying? Of that percentage gain of every single candle. So for instance, let's say that it moves up by a candle or by 3 or 4 candles, right? There are green, a total of, let's say, 5-6% gain percentage. So I try to give it, let's say, a 10% cushion, 12% cushion. All goes according to how it's moving. You see what I'm saying? I give it that amount of cushion so it could bounce up and down. You see? Alright, you guys, because you don't want it to trigger your losses. I mean, to trigger your stop loss just for that little bounce that went down, then it bounces back up, then it bounces up higher, but now you're out of the game. You see what I'm saying? That costs you a day trade. Alright? Alright, you guys. Let's move on to the next one, you guys. Okay. Let me see. I got that one about the supernovas. Alright, when it comes to the resistance, you guys. When it comes to the resistance, you guys, I always try to put attention. Where's the resistance at before I get in? The support when it gets in. And when I notice it's time when it gets close that it's going to hit the resistance, I let it do its thing. I let the chart play it out. So let's say if it hits the resistance and it gets close to the resistance but doesn't break the resistance, it comes back down couple cents, you know. It comes back down 5-6%, then it starts trading back up. Second time, try to hit the resistance. I said try to hit the resistance. Maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't. But if it does, how much did it break? You know, 2 cents, 3 cents above the resistance. And now, did it hold? And if it didn't, it's going to start trending back down. Now, usually me, myself, this time, I try to see the volume. I try to see the market. I try to see what the chart is telling me. Check out the level 2, the level 5 chart as well to see if we're going to be able to break that resistance the third time. And if I see that it's not going to be able to break the resistance the third time, then I put a sell limit there, or I put a stop loss there right below it. So as soon as it hits it, it drops, I locked in that profit. Alright, that's what I use my stop loss for that too as well, you guys. Alright, now if it does break that resistance, I put my stop loss a few cents above that resistance. Because sometimes it will not hold the first time or the second time, and it will come back down, but now I'll be able to gain a little bit more percentage above the breaking resistant point price. You see what I'm saying? Alright, you guys. Okay, let's move on to the next one, you guys. Okay. Let me see. When it comes to emotions and the stop losses, you guys, and the sell limits, you guys made a decision at first. Be logical about your decision. Make sure your decision benefits you when it comes to taking profits, and stick with it, you guys. Because like I said, sometimes people like to use that mental stop loss, and if it comes down, they don't sell. They think it's going to go back up, and it keeps trending down. Then before you know it, you're walking out of that position and a negative emotion attitude, I guess you could say, whatever. But you got my point, okay, you guys? So let's be logical. Let's stick to the plan. You know, if you're gonna set a stop loss there, make sure you set it there and make sure you stick with it. Okay, you guys. So now let me see. I'm almost done here. Let me see. I'm reading my notes for you guys. Okay. Basically, here we go. Yeah, we're almost done, you guys. The key for setting a stop loss is to learn to use it for your leverage. Learn to use it to work for you, to make money for you. Okay, you guys? Because like I said, as it moves up, move your stop loss up. You know, one of the things that I had a bad habit doing when I was an amateur is that people say they like to get greedy. You know, but there's no such thing as being greedy, you guys. You know, there's enough of money to go around for all. Okay, but anyways, let's move on beyond that subject. With the thing about the stop loss, you guys have to use it to your leverage, because as it moves up, you guys, when I came to learn in my amateur stages, you know, I wasn't really sure about the resistance or support. So I noticed as it hit resistance or whatever, and as it moved up, it drops down a little bit, and I end up selling at a price that I could have sold for a higher price. So for example, I got at this position. It cost me $1 per share. Let's say I bought 100 shares. That's $100. It went up 20% at the top peak prime that I could have sold, or put a stop loss right below that, a couple percents down. I wasn't aware, so I let it do its thing. I started trending back down. Then I end up selling it only for 10% gain. So instead of making those $20, I made those $10 off that trade. For a quick example, simple math for you guys. So that's one of the things that I have learned, to use a stop loss, you know, as a certain percentage. So I make sure I locked in percent every single time, you guys. And as you guys could see, you know, I always try to lock in, you know, 6% and above. You know, sometimes even 25% in one trade, because you know, I try to get in at a perfect time. Then as it trends up, you see, I always move my stop loss up, you know, and it's safe throughout the whole day. That stock that I was looking at, it gained 35%. It gained 35% profit gain, okay, and I locked in, let's say 20% off of that. You see what I'm saying? So always learn and try to use the stop loss for your advantage. Alright, you guys, let me see what else I have for you guys. Okay, when it's the last one, you guys, of my notes, when it comes to the stop loss, you guys, the point is to cut losses quickly, alright? Because if you learn how to cut your losses quickly, you'll make more profit. You see what I'm saying? You'll lose less money, and you'll make more money at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the week, at the end of the month. You see what I'm saying? Because the thing is, it's not to lose money, you guys. And if you're going to lose money, put it at a point that you're comfortable with. You know, I know some people that they put it right at the price they got in. And honestly, they never lose money. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, you will lose majority, maybe half or more out of 10. But the other ones will make it worth it. You see what I'm saying, you guys? It basically gives you a security of insurance that you're going to lock in some profit. Alright, you guys? And sometimes, you know, when it moves fast, you guys, sometimes it drops, you know, 2 cents, 1 cent below the price limit, the stop loss that you wanted to stop at, to trigger at. And sometimes that happens, you guys, because, you know, the majority of the stocks that we're involved with have high volatility, so they move down fast as well, you guys. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you set a stop loss at a price that you're comfortable with. Alright, you guys. You guys have a good evening. Take care, you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe. Any questions, any comments, please let me know. And please give it a like. Remember, I do this for you. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.